What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Art of Party podcast entitled To Live and Party in LA. We're still here in Los Angeles shooting with two of the most innovative entrepreneurs in Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world. I got my brother Rob T here from Social Collective LA, as well as brother Jahmal Walker from Millennium Age. Not only they put together some of the dopest events and creative events in the city, but they're individuals who are smart businessmen that are building brands and what I would say is one of the hardest markets to build in. So today we're going to talk about how you guys got your start in the event and entertainment industries and some of the unique things you guys are doing, as well as any tips and information you can share about how others can build their brand. So, Rob T, I want to start off with where you're from and how you got your start in the entertainment industry.
From Memphis, Tennessee. Got started doing small parties at the crib, then branched out. I watched a cat in my city who's still relevant today, a cat named Curtis Givens. He's been doing it tremendously for years. So just kind of watching and following the lead of him and, taking it on, going to college with it, knowing that this party thing is something I definitely can do, but figuring it out.
Okay. Where's your school at?
Tennessee State University, Nashville, Tennessee.
One of the best, I'm not gonna say it's a party school, one of the best party experiences I've ever had was at TSU.
I can believe that.
It was a party called Sweat the Walls.
Okay.
And I think it may have been the best college party I've ever been to. I've never sweated so much at an event before.
Yeah, man. TSU, bro, is a party school, but a great school. Probably one of the best HBCUs out there. Yeah. You being an Alpha, knowing a lot about it. Alpha Week is a big thing out there.
BO.
Man,
shout out to BO.
They do their thing. So
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But everybody across the board. But we did our thing with events. From we used to do events first Friday to Nashville. I used to run a spot with my uncle called 615 nightclub there in Nashville. They went on to do different things, different spots. But it's always been cool, you know? Nashville's a cool spot.
And Jahmal, Chicago native.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get started hosting your first event? Tell us about your first event, man.
Let's go. So I went to SIU in Chicago, like 5 hours away from Chicago. Party school. Known for the players ball. Yeah. Kappas ran the yard. I might get in trouble for that a little bit. But my brother's an Alpha. I grew up looking after some lead event producers. Chris of 3 Deep. That was one of my and still is one of my big homies that has been paving the way for me and just showing me how to move. Graduated, moved to DC, then moved to LA, and in LA. I found an event niche and I found my lane, which is called the silent parties, the crazy headphone parties. And I'm a pioneer of that concept from 2015. So, to date, we've done 1,200 parties. We're responsible for $2.5 million in ticket sales. It was just literally like, let me just take a chance on something different, something weird, something crazy. And I was able to create experiences with some of the biggest DJs here in the city, like DJ Artistic and other DJs, and understood that I could create experiences in LA across the country.
What's unique about the LA entertainment hospitality industry, and how did you guys navigate it?
LA is different, man. LA is its own entity. I tell everybody, you can be who you want to be in LA, right? Mm-hmm. And you can be several different things if you want to. LA is a vast market. So if you want to be a hippie, you can be that on Tuesdays. But if you want to be ratchet, you can be that on Wednesdays. If you want to be a beach bum, you got that. Everything is right here that you can do it. But finding your lane I think it's one of those things that is depicted on where you come from. Mm-hmm. Kind of what you know, what your background is. Like you said, coming from college and doing different events, you bring that here. Yeah. That's kind of what I did. Mm-hmm. I brought something that was very different. Mm-hmm. I saw a hole in the market that I knew I could fill a void. Yeah. LA itself is very event driven towards Hollywood. Yeah. Hollywood is a different beast in itself. Yeah. Done the Hollywood parties, used to do them. It just wasn't for me. I don't like what we call the Hollywood door game. Yeah. Who's with you, how many girls you got, yada, 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 who's this, who's that.
Aesthetic. Forget that aesthetic. Yeah.
I do this for people. I'm very customer service oriented and I'm about my people. Yeah. So don't ask me how many black girls I got with me. Yeah. All of them are black, more than likely. Mm-hmm. I got some of the homies with me too. Yeah. Like everybody who's coming is that. Yeah. But I started doing things for everybody to feel very comfortable in their own skin. Give them their own space, their own party. Like let them do their thing versus worrying if I'm gonna be able to get into a spot. No, this is a spot for you.
Yeah.
You know, we bring everybody together. It's all the inclusion of us.
And I commend you guys because LA is a market where, because it's so celebrity driven, you know, booking an artist is gonna necessarily make sure your event is successful. I remember being here in 2011, I was interning for Moet Hennessy, and I would just bump in, I'd see will.i.am here, I see Tay Diggs there, and I see all these celebrities, and I was still kind of starstruck, but to everybody, this is an everyday thing. So if you're looking to build your brand here, just having a celebrity on your event isn't gonna be the only thing that's gonna do it, right? So how did you guys navigate and really build success? What was that first event that you had that you were able to kind of be like, okay, we're doing it in Los Angeles?
I'll jump into really kind of what we was talking about and kind of merge it too as well. Like having flavor here in LA is really important. And like Rob is saying, filling a void. So for example, we hosted something really huge called Chicago versus Everybody. And that lit the city up at a venue called The Parlor. And that was crazy. And the reason why it was is because, you know, Chicago ran music for a long time in the late 2000s. Man, just fusing what we know and what we're passionate about to adding flavor behind it and being consistent with it. That's the thing. Like a lot of people could do one event and jump off the radar. But I think where our success is that we have event series and they really are flavorful and they really are for the people. So we don't only do, my brand, we don't only do silent parties, we do brunches, we do brown sugar R&B events, block parties, and that's where, you know, if the people recognize the quality and the flavor, they're gonna keep coming back.
My partner and I, we run several different events. You know, we have a multitude of different brands behind our brand.
Yep.
Started with our Heart Saturdays, you know. We took a concept that LA wasn't familiar with. And just me coming from other places. I was in DC at the time when I came back to LA, and I didn't see a reason why a day party shouldn't happen year round in LA. Yeah. Before we did it in 2015, everybody's day party was stopping. It was a very seasonal thing. You remember New York, they had, what they have here, Toxic and, what's the joint in New York? They had, it was like, using La Marina all summer, whatever.
Oh yeah, La Marina, New York. Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, and I used to hear about the do-over in LA on Sundays. I thought it was crazy.
But they were very seasonal. Yeah. Like they would happen through the summer months. Yeah. We live in LA, bro. It's always 70 degrees. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we keep this thing going. Change your time, change your element, and then we hopped into our brunch, and that took us off. Okay. But we started the brunch concept back in 2009. We had a spot on Sunset called Libertine on Sunset. My partner, who's a chef as well, he had a concept like let's do, I want to do brunch, and I said, well, let's do something different with it. Let's bring this party element to it. And it kicked off what is the day party brunch. Nobody was doing them. Nobody had the concept together, you know, but it worked.
Consistency is so important in the event industry when you're building a brand. How are you guys consistently bringing people out and packing out these events? What are some of the elements, skills, technology, innovation that you're leveraging to make sure that your events have been successful?
For me, it's definitely social media ads. That's probably like 70 or 80% of like, you know, my strategy is cultivating lookalike ads and 10xing a certain dollar amount to get in front of tens and thousands of people in a similar city. But then after that, it's organic. It's building with the right people. It's making sure you got the right host, you have the right DJs, and your theme is different. You know, your theme can say the same, but it has to roll out with a different type of flavor. You don't want people to think that they come into the same thing every time.
It's Instagram does a thing. You know, those sponsor ads do a thing, but you also got to have the cool factor personally. People got to want to come hang out with you.
Yeah. Sure.
People like hanging out with me. Yeah. People know that I'm going to be a good time within that. Yeah. So it's all of those things. Organically, like you said, certain things, but the thing that you put behind it is the aesthetics. I'm big on the aesthetics because venues are scarce here in LA. Yeah. So I'm a proponent of not going into the same venue as the guy next to me who's doing the same thing. Yep. If he's trying to get you there on Friday night, but I'm telling you I want you to come Sunday, but somebody else has it on Saturday between us, that's 2 other times before you get to my event that you want to be there. What's different? So I go somewhere different. I bring different elements to it. I'm gonna bring an element in aesthetics and that feel-good element that make you wanna be there. I'm gonna rob them party. What I did was use the rule of, I took college, man. Everybody from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So what I did when I got back here is I went directly at the transplants.
Okay.
I went from everybody, the people from Chicago, the people from North Carolina, all those people, and not really worry about that celebrity as to it, because in LA you gonna see them.
They just looking for
you gotta
community.
come. Everybody has to come through LA for any entertainment aspect, right?
Yep.
But what about the girl who's the account executive at NBC versus the person who's on TV?
Yep.
What about the girl who's at BET? What about the guy who's at this? They all want to hang out. They live here.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons we started Event War. People would travel to New York, Chicago, LA. They'd be like, Jeff, where can I go? They were all looking for community. So you guys are curating community and culture every single day. So respect you guys for doing that. We got the Millennium Age Academy that you kicked off. Jahmal, tell us about it. I know that you're kind of closing the knowledge gap for event curators.
Absolutely. Like, my biggest focus with the academy is for creators that are beginners and creators that are in the middle between. They've hosted some events and they've had some success, to make sure that they slow down the roadblock, right? They eliminate the roadblock. And, you know, as I've had many roadblocks in my 9.5 years of hosting events, it's really about how can I point and put my energy behind someone, a male or female, and help them grow. You know, help them have more wins, help them cultivate community in their city and in cities unforeseen that they thought that they couldn't host in.
What's the most exciting, or really craziest event experience you ever had? Wildest. Tell us about it.
I don't know what you got.
All right, look. 3 years, Grammy weekend, Meek Mill hosted something at Tao. Ethica was involved, and YouTube and everything, and it was like a formal event. It was just like over the top, crazy. Meek performed, Terrence J hosted. Right. You know what was crazy? Just a level of like perfection and black excellence about it. Just a level of like, hey, look, right next to you is Dwayne Wade and his wife. Right next to you is Jay. And like just a level of, hey, look, everybody in the room is on the same level of excellence and black excellence. So that was one. And then when I first moved here in 2015, it's a club. It was an old Guys and Dolls. So I'm giving my age, but I've been around for a minute. And BT weekend, I got a table. I'm actually with Big Baby of the Celtics, big homie, right? And Future walks in, no promotion that he's performing or nothing, and BET weekend. He's just going to his section right next to ours. He ended up performing the whole Dirty Sprite. The whole Dirty Sprite.
That's class.
Like, you know, it's not name dropping, it's LA.
It's LA,
like,
yeah.
You're gonna find yourself at Diddy's birthday party, where there's the who's who of everybody. But it just was crazy. They had it at Isabel over in Beverly Hills. It was crazy because, you know, you get the little note that you're gonna get on, but like, you don't know, it's already packed outside. And just so happened, this is where your, those relationships you have. I'm nobody compared to the stuff that's going on, but when I walk up, they're like, oh, there go Rob T, let him in. One of my security guards happened to be security for the night. He's like, no, that's Rob. And everybody's like, oh shit, that's Rob, cool. So you walk in and it's like, you like, damn, but everybody's there. Diddy's walking around, you bump into Jay-Z. Hell, what scared me the most was crazy, right? So I'm at the bar, and you know, you in there, you're just talking, and I'm making a joke and some shit like that. And I'm at the bar making this lady laugh. She's tripping. And we just, you know, vibing or whatever like that. Turn around, and this dude peeks over my shoulder like, who making my wife laugh? And it's LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
But homie's big and tall. I'm like, oh shit, let me relax, man. Even from our own events, the ones that like click and say, you got it. Here it is. When we did Sunday Funday and the rollout, man, it was something that we couldn't even expect, you know, for 900 plus people to show up to just be like, we want to kick it at this event. But it's like we talk about all those elements that are there. If you have the right bartenders and the drinks and the elements that you want to, are you gonna have hookah at this event? Is it gonna be a rooftop? Is it gonna be this? And when you can put all those things together, that it clicks for everybody, and they're like, that's the shit I gotta go to this weekend. That's the thing I wanna be at. And that's when it feels real good, when you see that your work is coming in, when you can look around and be like, all right, bet.
Yeah, I remember when I was an intern out here, I think it was 2011, and I was at an ESPYs party. Walk to the left, Serena Williams right there. Chicago Bulls, John Sally's right there. Cam Newton just got where? Yeah, he was on the Bulls, so that's crazy. Cam Newton had just got drafted, so I think he was on the red carpet. He was just, everybody was excited about what he was going to do in the league. And I just realized there's really very few places where you get that type of experience. I still say my best party experience was in Miami. My boy's 21st birthday, shout out to Femi. And I still tell Sean Marion this story all the time because we couldn't get into the club yet. He just turned 21, came late. If it's Miami, if you're late and you're not plugged with no bottle service, can't get in. Anyway, Sean Marion and Big Tigger walk up with like 10 baddies. I told Sean, Sean's from around the Chicago area, Waukegan. I told Sean I'm from the crib. He like, come on. Pulled up, me, Femi, 10 baddies. We walk in, drink all the Ace of Spades up. All right, we turn around, we partying. Look up 30 minutes later, he's gone with all the baddies, but it's just like 5 Ace of Spades bottles left for us. So we just killed this. So first time I had Ace of Spades, I'm like, this shit's pretty good, expensive as hell. And I had a ball, but it's just first time having a Miami nightclub experience with Big Tig and Sean. So shout out to them. I think I tell Sean that story every time I see him. Now, events have the power to bring people together, to build community, build culture. And for guys like you guys, you made over $2.5 million just doing events through your silent party. I'm sure you've made a lot of money doing this. Talk to me about how you knew that this was going to be a business and success tips for folks who are trying to go from just hosting events to actually creating a business that can generate some real revenue.
So you got to build a brand by building a team and sharing your goals and your visions and having people believe in that and being consistent with them first. So that community first starts with your inner core, your inner team, and being consistent, being organized, and making sure that you have the right relationships with the venues as well. It's kind of like a full circle moment. You really have to treat your event business like a real 9 to 5. And that's what I'll say that my secret to success is like, I don't sleep in at 12. I'm literally up 7:30, 8 o'clock with my coffee or my tea and on the laptop or strategizing, figuring out event concepts or challenging my team to reach out to different venues across different cities. So it's about just having a real game plan and having people around you help you execute it, because you get nowhere fast by just doing it yourself.
I think when I knew it was a real business for us, my partner Nitra and I sat down and had the conversation. We knew we had to do something different. Venues aren't the thing here, So we figured out going into places that weren't typically the mainstream club or something that everybody's doing. When you have to put in the labor to make the space into what you want, and you're willing to do that, and then you see the return on revenue because you put this blood, sweat, and tears into it. Like, you get in there before the event. I'm in there, we don't open till 3, I'm in there by 11, moving tables myself. Like, you gotta have a team, but what if you don't have a team? You are your team, I am my team, But we invested in ourselves and figured out that having those things, we do something different from a lot of people now. We go into raw spaces and build them all the way out, So it still becomes very different for us because I'm not now competing against others for space. Not going right behind you doing the same thing that you just did, buying for you to come the next day, because I'm giving you all new space. My venues are gonna be curated specifically, and I look at them, I'm there, I'm going over and over, because it's something, what event that I have fits this bill? What can be perfect here? Why does this work? What elements are here that I now can provide and make something different for every event, So when you realize that it's a true business, it's how much you're willing to invest in yourself and your time to make that thing happen again and again. Why just do one event? Oh, we can do something when the club is open. Y'all free? Nah, I'm gonna make something happen. That's when you know it's a business, when you're down to put that effort behind it. Love it.
And I piggyback off of what he's saying as well. Is like, scaling is really big in all factors, because you could build a team and build a concept in another city the same way you're building the concept and the team here in LA. So that's a lot of where I found success and where I found a lot of my efforts, where I kind of plan and plant seeds in new cities where they need the same type of love, they need the same type of experience, right? They want to be served as well. And it might not be that creative in that city that's that specific, that's that creative. So why not build with the right DJs and the right venues to bring that city something specific on a consistent basis?
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Art of the Party podcast. Make sure you visit Eventwar for the best events in your city and host your next event on Eventwar, where culture and events intersect.